So today I thought I'd do an update that's a combination of what's blooming and my summer division plans. So if you haven't been paying attention to the news, there have been 50,000 new coronavirus cases reported in the US yesterday per day. So basically per day we're doing 50,000 new cases. Cases are going up. I have to admit that I'm feeling a little nervous about going to the post office. Cases are starting to climb in Illinois again, and my plans normally is that I make divisions in the summer and then I basically sell them at the Illinois Orchid Society Fall Show. And we received notification that the fall show is currently still on and they're planning to move us to a bigger room. But really, with cases going up everywhere and places shutting down again, I have to wonder if the fall show is even going to happen. So I'm not quite sure what to do about my summer division plans. If I make too many divisions, then I'm basically just going to have to throw them out come this fall, basically, because I won't have any room. And I have issues like I was planning today to take a whole bunch of these kikis off of my nobly hybrid dendrobium, so you can see like this kiki can really come off and pot them up. And so yes, not really sure what to do about all my divisions if the fall show is canceled. Mostly because lots of people have not expressed interest in buying any of this. So I have the problem that it's summer and everything is growing great, or mostly great. Well, we'll see in the update that not everything is growing well. But yes, what do I do with all my excess divisions? All right, so what's blooming? I have a Tolumnia that's in bloom. We've seen it in previous updates. It is Gyrac Rainbow Red Sun from Tazula Orchids, and it's doing, let's videotape the flower, not my hand, really well. I have here I don't think I can pronounce it correctly, so I'm going to show off the tag. Camiagensis heratoniana. Anyways, so it's basically just bare root mounted on this little stick, and I got it from H&R Nurseries. It's also available, or was available at one point, from High Desert Orchids, but I got mine from H&R because it was cheaper from H&R. And it has put out one spike here, and one spike, kind of see it, and then it has put out another spike, which is very hard to see, right down here. Let's see if we can zoom in and show it off, because zooming in this thing is so difficult. So it's not easy to get close. The flowers are like here. The flowers are tiny, tiny, tiny. They're orange. And the first spike was not opening up yet. But the second one is. But it's just really hard to see the flowers without them being blurry. So there we go. That opened up just earlier in the week. My Massavala David Sanders is still blooming right here. It's a little dippy down. I keep lifting it and trying to put the flower over that leafless pseudobulb. There we go. I've got two Richard Mullers that are in bloom right now. So I have Golden Tang here that's in bloom, and I have Melody Fair. Let's go around to the other side and get a view of it. This is Melody Fair by Richard Muller. Really like, it's been in bloom, I want to say 4 weeks now, and you can see the flowers are a little damaged by all the watering happening to it. And here's the other side of the Golden Tang that I have right there. I have a lot of Richard Mullers in spike, so This Richard Muller by Adenocarpa is in spike. This one back here is in spike. 2 spikes. I don't know which one it is. It is a Richard Muller. Oh wait, it's actually 2. So one is Rustic Spots. This forward one is Rustic Spots, and then the one behind it is Hawaiian Leopard Mailing. So those are coming into bloom. This right here, I believe, is Sunny Delight. Oh, Sunset Glory. It's Richard Muller by Laelia purpurata. And that's in spike as well. Summer is really Richard Muller season for me, so lots of them are in bloom. And there is another one, which I'm not seeing, because until the flowers pop open, it's hard to see them, so it's just green. Let's see, what else? Obviously, my Encyclia alata is in bloom right here. So it was in bloom in the last update. You can see some of the flowers are just starting to go. Some of the flowers are doing this thing. You can see it right here. It's getting kind of fat in the back. I think this is selfed by ants. Ants really love to crawl on this. So you can see this little ant right here, right? They like to crawl on them, and I think they will pollinate the flowers when they do that. So at the first year, I was real excited and I saved the seeds and sent them to somebody, and now I'm just kind of like, yep, even if they pollinate them, I'm cutting them off and throwing them in the compost. Just does it all the time. Then right here, I have my one and only Silagene, and it's in bloom. You can see right here. Here's another flower open right here. It basically blooms all the time. It blooms all year round. I have flowers on this all the time. It's not ever really floriferous at any one time, but it blooms all the time. And it's been a really good grower for me. Quick update on my bare root orchids that I got via trade that were in semi-hydro. They are still doing really badly and continuing to decline. See, like this one, leaf has turned yellow. But what's really starting to happen now is they're basically rotting right at the base between the pseudobulb and the roots. And so I did keep them really wet. It didn't work. There's no new roots. And so really I've reached a point now, like this one, even though it's green up top, it's gonna die because this is all black and it's a little bit squishy soft. So I have been slowly, if you can tell, there's not as many plants in this tray as before. I'm just throwing them out. This right here is Oncidium Green Valley Honey Sweet Lady. Right there. A lot of the Oncidiums that were in bloom in my previous updates have finished. And then I want to show these. This is this is 2 community pots that I put into plugs. So I have Dendrobium Chocolate Drop, and I have Summer Spot by Lulu now as little plugs. And I guess if anybody wants one of my little plugs, I will sell it to you for $5 plus shipping. But again, not a lot of interest. Most of the people around here seem to be growing Phalaenopsis, and I guess I do have issues of, like, say, selling you a $5 seedling that you're just gonna murder in a couple weeks. I do have a bunch of Nobly Dendrobiums over here on the side that are in bloom. I think they've been in bloom since my previous updates. So we have Spring Dream Kumiko right here. A lot of these have a little bit of water damage because they keep getting sprayed so much and it's so hot. We have these little ones behind it, which I believe is Lovely Lady Lycee. Fancy Lady Lycee, sorry. Fancy Lady Lycee right here. Sorry if the phone's not doing so well. And it's got, you know, a huge set of flowers right there ready to come in bloom. And then this, you can really see, like, see the rain is doing just a crap load. Look at how spotty brown, like moldy rot this has all got. Maybe I should, well, the problem is that by the time I realize there's damage, that I'm like, oh, well, they're too ugly to take inside to enjoy. And then I have this guy, which was also in bloom last time and is still in bloom. And it also has, I think it has kikis. Maybe this one doesn't. A lot of these have kikis, like this one. Look at this kiki. Which I was all planning to take off, but then what do I do with them? Like compost them later? And then, yes, this purple one with the deep purple throat is Love Memory Fizz. So those are my no bleed dendrobiums that are in bloom, sort of out of season. I guess it's because they come out and they get all kinds of water and they like, we will bloom for you. This is Epi Green Hornet right here. These were my 2 divisions that I was trying to sell for 20 bucks, right? So they're totally blooming, their little hearts out. And they're slightly scented. Epi Green Hornet has got cochleata in the background, and I thought it would be nice to show a cochleata. So this right here is the cochleata that I have, and then here's Green Hornet, and you can see that Green Hornet really carries the cochleata parent. The petals and sepals are a little fatter compared to cochleata, but they have the nice upside down cockle shell and the same coloring as the parent. So this is my blooming cochleata, and it's not surprising that Green Hornet blooms the same time as a parent does. All right, my 4N Phoenicia Falcata is just finishing up right here. Most of the flowers have fallen off already, and yes, it is definitely scented. My Militasia Dark Star Darth Vader is about to go into bloom. Look at all the spikes on it. It has a lot of growths and it has a lot of spikes. All right, and I wanted to do an update on this Brachycattleya hippodamia that I took out of semi-hydro, I want to say beginning of March, end of February, and that I mounted because I said it wasn't doing well in semi-hydro. And so you can see here, it has little roots coming out now, and they're growing toward the wood. It's hung like this against this bracket's normally up here at the top. So the roots are actually growing away from the light toward the wood, given how it's hung. So I guess, yes, hippodamia for me wants to be mounted. And finally, in this update, I just wanted to include what I did with the vanilla. So I took them off those tubes, and per Michael's suggestion, I went and buried a bunch of nodes. I don't have 50% bark potting soil mix, so I just put them in moss. And actually, I have gotten vanilla to root by burying it in moss like this. It'll take probably most of the summer for it to root, but basically I went through, I took all the nodes, and they're all just buried in the moss right now. So we'll see how it goes, and maybe I will have some vanilla to share with people if it doesn't all die.